This is breakfast. I made a protein waffle with some caramelized apples, a little bit of granola and pecan butter, and sugar-free maple syrup. Yum. And greens in my Wonder Woman cup. Good morning. Happy New Year, everyone. It is 2021, finally, as a lot of people have been saying. I myself had a really good year in 2020 for various reasons. I got married, I traveled a few places, I got top 3 in the nation for the new wellness division for bodybuilding. A lot of success. I got on with Nutrition Dynamic as a new coach, so there's a lot of the things that I completed by the end of 2020. I'm taking into 2021 with a lot of momentum, super motivated, ready to get started. Now, I don't know about you, but recovery is something that's key for me. And I always gotta tell you guys about one of my favorite products, which is this Tidal hemp-powered CBD spray. I spray it on my joints or my achy muscles after I shower. You let it air dry. Feels amazing within 15 minutes, like a numbing, cooling sensation. And because of the CBD, it also helps relax the nerves. So make sure you check the link below and go get yourself some cryo spray. Literally the best deal on the market. Lasts about a month. But nonetheless, recovery isn't the only thing I'm focusing on in the new year, and I wanted to be 100% transparent with y'all about how I'm starting off this new year. So first and foremost, I write all of my goals in a planner. This is the Clever Fox planner I got through Amazon. Check out my links below for my favorite Amazon products as well. But literally, this thing saves me because it helps me stay focused on what I want to focus on. So I can put some little vision boards here, put in different things like my daily ritual, gratitude reminders. Here's my really detailed vision board you can see here. So I also detail out my goals. Now, as you go week by week, month by month, what I really like is this will be for the first full week in January. I haven't done it yet because I usually do my planner on Sundays for the week. But then every single day I map out like what I have going on, what are my top priorities for the week, and some notes. And then at the end of the week, you can detail like what I learned, what were my biggest wins, and what I'm gonna take into the next week. So when it comes to these goals and goal setting, one of the goals that I had was Dave and I are gonna travel this year. And we, on New Year's Eve, booked our honeymoon trip to Mexico. So we're going to Cancun in February. Super excited. I've actually never been to Mexico, but it'll be a fun trip for both of us, going to an all-inclusive resort with everything at our fingertips. Now, as you guys know, I'm all about fitness and health, but lately my priority has been just optimizing my mind, my mental state, and performance. But my actual physique itself hasn't been the top par of where my physique can look. So I'm showing you some pictures in a video here. This is my current physique. And that's my husband blowing his nose in the back of the video because he always interrupts my videos. So these are images for my first update of 2021. My weight is 146 pounds, and as you can see, this is right upon wake up, no water, no food. I'm extremely bloated. Now, I did have alcohol the day before and overate New Year's Eve. We were enjoying ourselves. Just full transparency there. But my goal by February is I'm going to, number one, reduce my bloating and be able to bring in my waist probably about an inch or 2 inches max, and have a little bit more definition in my legs and my glutes. So this is an insecure moment for me because of how I look. Now, like I said, I overall feel really good in my body. So what I'm gonna be doing the next few weeks is changing up my cardio and doing a little bit more cardio, about 40 minutes for 5 days a week, as well as adding in a little bit of HIIT training during my workout sessions. So not extra cardio. It's gonna be during my workouts with weight and doing more supersets, increasing the intensity, watching my heart rate, which I always do because I have a heart rate monitor right on my wrist. I have the Polar one. I think that's in the links too, my favorite heart rate monitor. So what I'm doing with that is I'll be tracking how my body's gonna be recovering and also incorporating more stretching and yoga, because that's already been a key priority for me for this next year. Because overall, if I want my body to be performing like an athlete, that's something you have to do, is you have to stretch, you have to recover, and the flexibility piece has been huge for me as far as muscle mass and growing goes. So I will be sharing a little bit more along my journey over the next course of the weeks on how it's going, how I feel. There's probably gonna be some times I'm gonna experiment with a few different supplements to see how they affect my body, and that might include some fat burners. I'm also gonna be including intra-workout drinks, which I already use a few different products, specifically with Morphogen Nutrition. My husband has a code linked down below. Some of the best in the industry that I've ever used. But I'm gonna try out a couple different ones and share that experience with you guys. So Happy New Year. I'm going to also include the video that I shared on my Instagram at the end of this video about how I go about goal setting, so you can take that into account, and show you a little bit about what I'm doing to celebrate the new year. My sister's in town, so I think we're gonna wander around a little bit and just embrace some community and connection and relationships, which is another priority for this year for me. The new year's here, but no matter if it's a new year or a new phase in your life, one of the most critical pieces that everyone should take into account is goal setting. And if you don't have a way that you go about creating a vision for your life, figuring out what those priorities are, your goals, ultimately your life won't change, because it all starts with that vision and creating that map to where we want to lead our life. And then we have to create that map and basically dissect it into our days, months, weeks, and ultimately years, so that we can create and architect the life of our dreams. So one thing I do with my clients, and I've done for myself for several years, is have a planner. And my planner is a Clever Fox planner. There's several different brands out there nowadays you can do. You can also use your phone. But tip number one when it comes to goal setting and being accountable for your goals is having a way to track them and to be organized. So if you're not organized, hate to break it to you, you're probably not going to be successful as you could be. So I'm not saying you won't be successful, but it's a matter of what is that level that you could potentially reach? What's your maximum capability at? So when it comes to myself and my planner, like I've got my meditation cards that I always have, and I've already kind of laid out some of my inspiration pages, different words of affirmation, gratitude, and I leave a little bit blank because through the year, things change. My life changes, I change, some of my goals and priorities actually change. So I also keep in mind, like, what are some of the things that I visualize for myself this year? What are the things that motivate me and inspire me? And what are the main goals that I'm going to focus on? So when you're going about planning your goals, there are some big life areas that you want to keep in mind. First and foremost, for me anyway, is my health. So what are the things that I'm going to focus on for my health this year? There's certain habits that I already do, so I don't need to make them into goals. But ultimately, your big overarching goal should be broad, and then I recommend breaking it down into 3 big, achievable, detailed goals. So for example, one of my goals this year is to put on 3 to 5 pounds of muscle. Now that's over the course of a year, and it's actually not as detailed as I could be. Maybe I wanted to go by an inch around my quadriceps or 2 inches on my glutes, something like that. But you can't actually measure muscle mass that way. It's just a measurement of size. So that's not an adequate measure of muscle. But another example is I'm going to continue to feed and fuel my body for energy in ways that make me feel good. So that is actually going to change throughout the year. Right now, I'm eating more intuitively. I'm still maintaining a certain level of protein per day so that I can maintain and grow muscle. I'm drinking a lot of water. I have a lot of fruits and vegetables, but maybe in a couple weeks, I'm going to do more of a cleanse. So it's going to be focused on fruits, vegetables, whole foods, a little bit less protein intake that's easier digestible, changing up protein sources, things like that. But if I was somebody like one of my clients who has a health goal, one of their goals is actually they want to have a slender abdominal that is about 30 inches in circumference and be able to see defined abs. That's an extremely detailed goal. So from that goal, she's going to figure out, okay, what are the things I need to do every single day or every week that are going to get me to that defined slender abdominal? Number one, cutting out sugar. Number two, she's going to maintain a cardio routine, because you do have to add in some cardio to lose some body fat, but we're also going to be looking at her nutrition plan and modifying things along the way. So when you have these big overarching goals, like the life areas that I talked about, health being one of them, you can look at your business and career as another. Maybe you have family, friends, you want to prioritize how you have those relationships, build those relationships, have boundaries in those relationships. What's your romance like with your partner, your husband, wife? Having goals in your marriage or in your relationship is super important, because once again, just like other areas of your life, if you're not progressing and trying to do different things and improve on different things or maintain different things, it won't change. Yeah, it can be a good relationship, but what can you do to make it even better for you and your partner? Finances. What are some things that are financial goals for you? Maybe you're trying to pay off your student loans and you want to figure out, okay, maybe I need to start a side hustle so I can make an extra couple $100s per week that can go into my student loans. Personal development, fun and recreation. I actually want to get some new hobbies this year that are non-fitness health related, so hold me to that, folks. And then spiritual, which is something I'm continually trying to evolve on and level up. But like I said, these are all things that when you start the process of goal setting and you figure out how to do it in one area of your life, you replicate that process to the other areas of your life. And that is why you see these entrepreneurs and these boss babes online and in your local areas who are killing it in every single area of their life, because they figured out this formula. It's not a secret. People sell this as like a marketing secret. Oh my God, this is how you make $12 million, blah, blah, blah. This is how you have the best marriage of your life. At the end of the day, you have to figure out what's going to work best to hold you accountable so that you can set goals and then take action on them by breaking them down into little itty bitty pieces. So something else that I find super helpful is I go through every month, and since we're coming on a new month, I kind of recap what happened this past month, what went well, maybe what I didn't follow through on or what I didn't accomplish and why. Maybe I get distracted by certain things. Maybe I had other things that came up spur of the moment. Maybe I had other priorities that I just put on top of other things. There is going to always be something that is causing that effect. So you have to be able to identify what was that cause and then lead to the effect, so that either A, you don't do it again because it didn't lead to what you wanted, or B, you replicate and improve on it and you optimize your productivity or your efficiency to do it again. So no matter what type of goals you have, this is something that I think anyone can benefit from, because it's not about just the goal setting, right? We can want to go on a vacation and we can want to travel the world. But until we start researching it, it's not going to happen. And then until we start saving money to do it, it's not going to happen. And then until we actually book the tickets and make the plans for the hotels or the Airbnb or wherever you're staying, nothing is going to change until you act on those visions and those manifestations. So to conclude this, we all know that this past year was really hard, and it was hard on me, but through it I've learned a lot about myself, my faith, and what I really need to feel like not only I belong and I'm included, but also to know that the energy that I'm trying to put out there and I'm trying to get towards something or some goal, it will come. It's just a matter of when. but you won't necessarily see it immediately. You might see it in a different manifestation, but until you actually put that energy out that you're trying to get something or you're trying to accomplish something, it's probably not going to change. So really think on that going into this new year, going into every new month, going into life. Really, it's all about the energy that we emit is what's going to be put out there and come back to us. So if we're always living in fear and not leaning towards faith or love, that's what we're going to get. Everything's going to seem scarce, everything's going to seem fearful, and that it's eluding us and evading us. But when we think in life as abundance and it's full of opportunities, full of friendships, full of romance waiting to happen, these great trips that we're ready to book and ready to plan, besides the things happening in the environment we can't control, what can you control for your future that you can accomplish? So, Happy New Year, happy goal setting, and let's kick butt this next year. I know I'm ready to, and I'm sure you all are as well.